A webinar on machine learning, deep learning, hands-on experiments. RTBS Geeta Deep Enterprises. In association with Sharad Institute of Technology, College of Engineering, Ichilkaranji. Sponsored by Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers.
Welcome to MLDL webinar day 3 session. Today we are going to perform hands-on experimentation on configuring convolutional neural network using Keras. We are going to use MNIST dataset for our experimentation purpose. So let's begin with the practical hands-on for today's session. So let's begin with the experimentation using Keras for inbuilt database by configuring convolutional neural network. Now for typing a program we need one editor. For that we will use Notepad. This is Notepad which I have set with increased font size to see the things clearly during this webinar. So here our first requirement to import library is import NumPy as NP. Well, NumPy is matrix data handler or array data handler library inside a Python. So all the data that is required to be handled in terms of a matrix or arrays format should be handled by using NumPy, whose object is with NP. So hence after, instead of calling NumPy directly, we will call NP for calling NumPy. Next to that, we have already installed Keras. So from Keras dot models we will import sequential. So this will be responsible to configure sequence to sequence model. So in terms of using sequential model, we will be able to gather multiple types of layers. That means multiple convolutional layer, max pooling layer, dropout layers, dense layers, and etc. Next to that, we need to import Keras layers types. So from keras.layers import dense, dropout, next to that activation, and flatten. Well, as these names are coming, the significance of each of the type of layer I'm going to explain step by step. Yes, here spelling of layers you have to check. Next to that, from Keras dot layers import convolution 2D, then max link 2D models. From Keras dot utils import np utils for handling NumPy arrays. From Keras dot datasets import MNIST. So MNIST dataset is inbuilt in Keras for checking the model types and all. We have imported MNIST dataset. Well, long form of MNIST stands for Modified National Institute of Standards and Technology Database. This is a large database of handwritten digits that is commonly used for training various image processing systems. So while trying particular convolutional neural network model, this database is preferably used by researchers, that whether your model is perfect or not is been identified by using this dataset. Next to that, while loading a particular dataset and training into the neural network, there is obvious requirement of shuffling the data randomly. So we need to shuffle the data manually, or this MNIST data that is available in Keras package is already shuffled. So I think there is no need to reshuffle it. Simply you had to reload that. So next to this is to load the dataset. So I will make use of xtrain and xtest, ytrain and ytest variables for loading actual data set and their predefined labels. So now what is labels and what is a class or identifier, that I would like to brief here. Well, whenever xtrain data is been loaded, in that first object from the dataset will be belonging a particular class. That class label is defined in ytrain. So if there are 10 classes in xtrain dataset, individual labels will be defined in ytrain. So now what is label and what is group name, that you might have been knowing, or otherwise I will repeat here, that suppose there are 4 divisions of second year students, then first division is identified by label 0, second division is identified by label 1, third division by label 2, and fourth division by label 3. So now suppose we want to sort these students, then in that case particular student is given particular label, and according to label they will sit into their classrooms. So which student belongs to which class is the identification required by particular person. So there will be 1 week period given to that particular person, and he has to interact with every student from every class, and he has to understand that these students belongs to this particular class. After 1 week, we say that training period of identifying the students is already been over. So when training period is over for the 1 week timing, next time the person will be asked to identify a new student that from which he belongs to. Now the person has developed his own method to identify the class belongings. Well, the first method he has considered is the identification of dress color or dress code. So he has seen that blue color belongs to 0 class, red color belongs to 1 class, green color belongs to 2 class, and some other color belongs to 3 class. So these class labels will be given to upcoming new students, and they will be allowed to sit in that particular division. So this way how our model is going to work. So we have xtrain and ytrain, into which already the data is been labeled, from which the model will get trained first. Next to that, the new data which is not been used for training will be used for testing purpose, and for this data which classes are being predicted, those classes will be compared with the y test, and accordingly the training performance can be evaluated. So this way how the CNN model is going to work, and for that purpose we are going to load X train, Y train, X test, Y test. So we have loaded all the MNIST data in terms of train and test along with label and train label and test label. To configure neural network, we must know the shape of the data used for training. So let us print the shape to understand what kind of a data it contains. This will print total number of images and what is the size of each image in terms of rows and columns. So this statement is responsible to print. Next to that, let us save the program first. So here let us make a folder of day 3. Next to that, give a file name. I will give mypro.py. Do not forget to provide extension .py. Otherwise the program may not become compatible with Python language. So next to that, if you have to check inside a folder whether the icon of the file is taken as a Python type of file. If it is not, you have to enable the file name extension first to check whether the file is saved as a .txt file or .py, because most of the time Notepad is responsible to save the file as a txt. Next to that, if it is of type txt, you can simply change the extension here. Suppose if it is .txt, then change it to .py. So it will become compatible file with the Python. After this, so here we have used statement of xtrain shape to print the data shape. Next to that, we will use matplotlib to print one of the data in image window, figure window. So for that we will use from matplotlib import pyplot as plt. So plt is the object used to call pyplot. So using plt we can show the image in figure window using plt.imshow. So plt.imshow. Inside bracket the thing that you want to show as an image. So xtrain is an array, so we will call only first data to print in the figure window. Matplotlib may not have been installed during our first day session, so we will also install this matplotlib library required in our program. Another aspect is in Python 3 we can call any library anywhere in the program, not necessarily that it should be at the start only. Like in Python 2 we were unable to call any library anywhere in the program. So during writing a program, anywhere you can call these libraries. So let's open up the command window, and then just like yesterday we'll go for cd space ... Next to that, going for first of all install matplotlib. So this is the command pip3 install matplotlib. So this will simply download the library and install inside pip3 environment. Next to that, as we have came to C prompt while running a program using command line environment, we should be able to access file or folder directly, and to minimize the errors during changing the directories. So this day 3 folder, first of all I am going to shift onto another drive. So changing the drive and getting into that folder will become easier for me. Otherwise, coming onto the desktop, for that you will have to go first to users, then your name, then desktop. So 3-4 commands will get saved if you are using direct folder, or even on C drive also you can make your own folder and put your file into that to execute using Python, using command line environment. So this downloading will again depend on your internet speed. So I think total installation and required supporting packages are installed successfully. Next to that, first of all, let's copy and paste it on another drive. As like I said, changing the directories up to desktop will not be easy task, or may give rise to additional errors, typing errors. So E colon will change to drive E. So here you can use dir command to check the contents of E drive. So here it is a day 3 folder. Next to that, let's get into day 3. cd day 3. Again, dir will show the contents of day 3 folder. Now we have to run mypro.py file. So for that, Python mypro.py. Yes, you have to type your file name with extension. Press enter. So here you have got a message first that using TensorFlow backend from Keras. Though we have imported Keras, it depends on TensorFlow first. Next to that, yes. So here we have got error, one error, import error, cannot import the type. So I think again there is some compatibility issue, as we have installed Python 3.5 and TensorFlow 1.14. We have to change some of the contents. So let's call Keras from TensorFlow itself. So TensorFlow dot contrib dot Keras, and from that models we will call. So this is one of the method for older TensorFlow models. Well, why to go for older is just because whenever you people are going to see for the help on online forums, you will find similar kind of discussions available for you, and that's why we are sticking with older versions only during this our webinar. So we have imported Keras. Next to that, we will make change to every import. So by copying pasting TensorFlow.contrib, we are testing first. Well, hold on, for before trying to experiment this on your computer, let me check first that what kind of error it shows. Again, if there is error due to Windows environment again, because these errors are not usual errors on Ubuntu. Yes, again import type error. So here again we have to change the type of import. Like we have to stick to some other method like upgradation to 1.14. So we will use Python instead of contrib. Next to that, yes, from Python Keras models you have to call sequential. Next to that, a similar kind of change we have to implement in remaining imports, so there will be no error. Well, this is for Windows only environment, okay? If you are working on Ubuntu, direct Keras, from Keras you can import, so there will be less issues associated. Next to that, let's try to run this program again. Okay, now we get convolution. Okay, it's a typo error, convolution spelling, we have to correct it, TION. Okay, so So I think remaining things are okay. So rerun the program. Up arrow will again call the previous command, so no need to type it. Yes, the command is running. Well, this is responsible to download MNIST data inside a Keras dataset. Well, this download will depend on your internet speed again. It's not so big data. Now, what is MNIST data is nothing but it is a handwritten data of numbers. Numbers are written by people on some pages. Those images are taken as MNIST dataset. Now here again, after successfully downloading, it has printed the shape 60,028. So there are 60,000 images with 28 by 28 images. So again we have run this. So for the next attempt it is not going to download. Once download is completed, for the next attempts it will simply catch the files from cache. So now we have to show the image. So for that, to hold the figure window, you have to put plt.show. Now run. Yes. So this is the S handwritten letter, the image of which is an MNIST dataset. Another image also we can check. So this is first image from array. It is a 0th image. So first from the array. So copy paste all the contents. Similarly, make 0, 1, 2 and 3 and check whether you will get 4 images from the dataset image. Well, plt.show will hold every window. When you close it, next window will launch. So these are the 4 images we have seen. So this way how it works for MNIST dataset. We have seen loading the dataset and checking its shape, then showing in figure. Now let us comment these, because we have seen how to show it in figure window. This is for the sake of confirmation only, that what type of images we are handling. Now copy all these contents into new file, because you can use this for reference, that how to use figure windows to show the images from the dataset, from MNIST dataset. Next to that, it's time to reconfigure the train data according to configuration required in convolutional neural network. So we have to reshape the data according to input layer used in CNN. So first of all, let us pre-process as first stage. So pre-process for shape. For that, x train is equal to, so this is x train dot reshape x train shape first dimension, second is here we can see 60,028 by 28. So second input should be the number of channels, third should be the size of the image. So 60,000, 1, 28 by 28. So this could be considered as a tensor of the input train data, because input data is having 60,000, 28, 28, which we have converted into 60,000, 1, 28, 28. Next to that, So next is to, yes, here underscore instead of dash. Next to this is to reshape test data also, because both should match in terms of shape. So copy and paste xtest for reshaping. So in the similar way that we have arranged xtrain, xtest will be get arranged. So we don't know how much number of images are there. So again you can use print function to understand the shape of xtest also. Next to that, xtrain is required to be regularized. For that, let us convert xtrain into data type as a float32 first. So this is one of the basic normalization process, similar for test. So as we have seen convolutional neural network for integer type of operations, so we are converting our data into integers exactly. So whatever comes here, we are going to convert it in not integers, we are float32. So whatever comes here, first of all we are going to convert it into float32, and then all the data should be divided by 255. So here you will get exact 8-bit image contents, normalized data. So you can check with this and without this the performance of the neural network. That can be one of the configurations for experimenting during such a self-configured neural network. Now convert class labels to categories. So there can be 10 categories in this data set. So let us consider 10 categories only. So white train is the label which is loaded from MNIST dataset. So these are labels. White train is equal to np utils. From that we will call two categories categorical, which is responsible to convert entire labeled data, entire labels array into categories. So what are the contents before this and what are the contents after this, you can print that how exactly the categorical conversion takes place. So it is most of the time there is not much difference in the contents, but in terms of appearance. So it may happen that earlier it was array and then it may get converted into list. So this way we have converted both data and labels into required format. So now let us go for configuring our convolutional neural network model. So model here is going to be sequential. So assign model sequential value. Next to that, add first layer into the model. So model dot add, you have to mention the type of first input. So convolution 2D layer we are going to use. Inside a bracket you are going to define number of kernels and size of each kernel. So 32 kernels we are going to use with the size 3 by 3 with the activation function ReLU, that is rectified linear unit. Next to that, the data as it is going to be input into this layer, we are going to define input shape. So already we have reshaped our data. So 1, 28 comma 28 is our shape of each image. So that input shape you have to define here. So what this actual layer is configured for, you can print the shape of this layer also, or summary you can print, but only in summary you will see only one type of layer. So here we run. Okay, we have used a y small here, so it has to be converted into capital, because at the time of loading it was capital. So y, well, these type of errors you must be able to understand while rectifying errors during execution of any of the program. So here one more convolutional 2D associated error has came, that it has indicated question mark comma 1 comma 28 comma 28 3 comma 3 comma 28 comma 32. Okay, so here let us write it in terms of old fashioned format in Python. Here we will have to specify the data format that is going to be input to this model. So let us mention data format here. So data underscore format is the argument which has assigned the value channel first, because first dimension of the input data is responsible to define number of channels in the image. So now error will get resolved. So yes, so we have got the output from convolutional neural network as a none 32 28 6 26. Okay, well, don't worry, we are going to understand in depth of this convolutional neural network, but today our main aim is to configure network first. So let us add one more layer into the convolutional neural network. So similar to that of first, without mentioning input shape and data format. So let us run, and then yes, so we get again change in the output. Yes, that is okay. So we have printed model.output shape to check whether layer is added in the model or not. Next to that, let us add next layer could be the max pooling. So max pooling layer with the shape of structuring element of 2 by 2. So pool size we indicate here as 2, 2. Next to that, we will add one dropout layer. Significance of dropout layer we will discuss later on, but in most of the models dropout layer is essential, so we will add one dropout layer here. So we drop out the data with 0.25 value. This is responsible to drop the training by 25%. So this is a kind of a forgetting what you have trained before the exam with the 25% loss. This way you can consider it primarily. Next, you have to flatten the data, because this may have multiple dimensions, because after the dropout we are going to add dense layer. So dense layer input must be 2-dimensional or reduction in the dimension. So dense layer will require flatten before it. Here dense layer will be consisting of 128 dimensions with the activation function as again ReLU we will use. So this is first dense layer. Next to that, let us add one more dense layer in the model with the output as a 10, because we consider 10 categories as output. So one of the 10 classes will come out after classification, and output should be most of the time softmax. Again here ReLU and softmax difference we are going to discuss in detail later on. Now I think almost our model is ready. So after this we preferably try to put a model summary command which is responsible to print the structure of the model. So in most of the reference papers you might have seen the model in the model is given. Yes, here we get the model. So first layer is convolutional 2D, second layer max pooling, dropout, total trainable parameters, non-trainable parameters, all the details are been indicated. So you can see how to configure model, how to print its summary to understand the layered structure, and then using it in our program for training purpose is the main task. So we will use model.compile first. Yes, so compilation is done by means of some loss function. So loss function is associated with the type of application. So if it is binary classification, that means there are only two levels, we use binary cross entropy. Here we are going to use categorical cross entropy to identify multiple types of levels. Next to that, optimizer function, we use Adam optimizer. Well, there are two types of optimizations, gradient descent and Adam. Adam optimizer performs better in most of the image processing applications. We use here Adam only. Now metrics to be used for estimating the descent operation, gradient descent operation, the metric is accuracy. Well, though we use Adam optimizer, accuracy, with respect to accuracy, training states are considered by the model. Next to that, we train the model using train data, xtrain, using its labels. Next to that, we have to mention the batch size of the training. Most of the time it is indicated as 32. Then number of epochs, that is number of iterations to train the model, we mention here 10. And then verbose. So during the training, what is happening inside the model, how much accuracy it is responsible for each responsible to get for each iteration, that is been printed by verbose. So if you set it to 1, you will get actual output. Each stage contents as a printed in your command window. Next to that, batch size we set here as a 1 and epoch to 2 to minimize the load on CPU for our today's experimentation only. Next to that, if you have less amount of RAM in your machine, batch size should be minimum as possible. Okay, so we are running the model. Well, here we get one error. So let's see what type of error it is, whether it is a capital of Adam optimizer. Okay, so we change A capital, no. Yes, here we get okay, that was not the case. Yes, NHWC. Okay, so NHWC is the shape of the data supported by convolutional 2D backpropagation model, is the error indicated. So we will change, instead of channel first to channel last. So NHWC stands for, N is the number of samples used for training, H stands for height, W stands for width and C stands for number of channels. Well, here error is indicated that data format argument must be data channel first or channel last, but received NHWC. Well, NHWC is not set as an argument here. So no, in CHW, so there is some other way required to handle this error. So let us change it to, I think, okay, as per the requirement, let us set it to last. Then we had reshaped our data to 128, so let us make it 28, 1. Then our pre-processing was again 128, so let us change it to 28, 1. So input will match with actual input of the data. So 60,000 28, 1 will be the new shape of new train data. So I think now there should not be any error. Let's check. Batch size again, let us check for less value. Okay. Yes, training started for 60,000 images. First epoch out of the two is running. So here you can see that how the training is working. So you can see the time estimated for training for each epoch, then loss. Here you can see accuracy, which lies within 0 to 1. So this way how it works. So let us use Ctrl C to break the process, because you are going to continue this experiment. So this is how to train the model. Next task is to use testing over trained model. So let us get the score equal to model dot evaluate onto test data using X test as an input data, and compare the predicted levels with respect to Y test, so that how much it matches with the actual ground truth you will come to know. We are setting verbose to 0. You can also set it to 1 to know that how the testing goes on. And finally we print our score here. So we have seen how to configure convolutional neural network using Keras. We have seen how to write a compatible code using TensorFlow Python libraries. We have seen how to handle input data with respect to number of channels, and how to handle the required data format while configuring convolutional neural network. So we have performed pre-processing, neural network model formation and its training, and performance evaluation using test data. So be sure that you are going to execute today's experiment on your computers. Well, up to 2 epochs only you can run, because increasing the number of epochs can also increase the time required to train entire model, because we are sticking with CPU only experimentations. Well, as far as CPU only experimentations are concerned, the configuration may also require 3-4 days to execute. So this experiment may also require 3-4 days on some of the PCs if you are having less amount of RAM. But configuring for 2 epochs may require half an hour only. So tomorrow's session we are going to cover up the configuration of convolutional neural network, and layer to layer outputs we are going to check that how it is going to perform kernel operations, max pooling operations and all. So be sure that you will be ready with your scores after experimentation of today's session, and you are going to put your values during tomorrow's session during a group chat of day 4. Thank you.